Happy day and welcome everyone. Today we are going to be talking about excess reagents. So I want to actually start off with something that you already know, a basic cheese sandwich. I'm talking about 2 pieces of bread with 1 piece of cheese. Okay, so I want you to imagine this. Imagine that you want to make as many sandwiches as you possibly can, and you find out that you have 6 pieces of bread. Okay, so picture your 6 pieces of bread and they're ready to go. And then you go to check your cheese and you have 5 pieces of cheese. And so whatever your favorite cheese is. And so you're going to make sandwiches, and the question is, A, what's your theoretical yield? In other words, how many sandwiches should you be able to make in theory if you use the stuff that you have? Second question is, what's the limiting reagent? And the third question is, how much of your excess reagent is left over? Okay, so I'm pretty sure you already got this. So if you want to write it down real quick, you can. But the first question is, if you answered correctly, let's put this right in on here. So if I've got 6 pieces of bread and I have 5 pieces of cheese, then if you answered 3 sandwiches, that's awesome. That would be your theoretical yield. So you should be able to make 3 sandwiches. Okay. Now, the other question that I had asked was, what's your limiting reagent? What kept you from making more sandwiches? Well, what you had to do in your head was say, if I used 6 pieces of bread, that would give me 3 sandwiches. And if I used 5 pieces of cheese, that should have given me 5 sandwiches. Okay? So I could have made 5 sandwiches if I used 1 piece of cheese per sandwich. But that didn't happen. So my limiting reagent was my bread. Now, my excess reagent is my cheese. Fine. Okay, but the question that is new now, that you maybe have never been asked before, is how much of the excess reagent is there? Well, if you're picturing it and you're using cheese sandwiches, this is a lot easier, but the process is the same, okay? The process is going to be the same, but when we're dealing with chemicals, there's a little bit of stoichiometry that has to happen because of the ratios. So, in this case, we knew it was the cheese. What you had to do in your head was say, I made 3 sandwiches, which means I used 3 pieces of the cheese. And if you used only 3 pieces of the cheese, you actually did a subtraction in your head and said, I started with 5, and now I used 3, so 5 minus 3, which leaves me with 2. Okay? And so that's really what you're doing in your head. And typically in a chemical reaction, usually you're not, even though you think that you're using the exact mole quantities as your balanced reaction, sometimes people just say, I'm just going to throw in 10 grams and 10 grams, and they're not really looking at the balanced equation yet. So if that's the case, then one of them, unless your grams switch to exact mole amounts and your moles match in your balanced equation, then you're probably not really reacting equal amounts as far as the balanced equation is concerned based on moles. So it's a little bit more involved when we go to a problem. So let's take a look at what the problem says here. So it says we've got 35 grams of C6H10, and we also have 45 grams of oxygen, and they're going to react with each other. So, and we want to know how many grams of the excess reagent will remain after the reaction ceases. Okay, so now reactions don't really stop. They come to a point where they're in equilibrium, by the way. Okay, but that's another topic. So this is a limiting reagent problem, but they're not asking us for the theoretical yields. If they were asking us for the theoretical yields, we would have to do one extra step, and I'll show you where that is. So let's get to it, and let's see if we can figure this out. So the first thing I want to do is I want to check to see what is my excess reagent. I need to figure that out first. In other words, if I know my limiting reagent, the other one must be my excess reagent. Okay, so let's start it off. I've got 35.0 grams of the C6H10. And I also have 45.0 grams of the oxygen. So I'm going to throw in a bridge. I'm going to do this the same way I would any limiting reagent problem. Change my grams to moles. So I've got 12.01 times 6 plus 1.008 times 10. So it ends up giving me a total of 82.16 grams per mole of the C6H10. Please make sure you always include units and as well as what the substance is. Oxygen 16.00 times 2, so I'm getting 32.00 grams per mole of my oxygen. Okay, perfect. So now I know that for a limiting reagent problem, I'm going to need to compare the two. So this isn't enough to just say moles because my ratios aren't the same in the balanced equation. So I need to switch to one of the products. Okay, so I'm going to go moles of C6H10, and down here it's moles of oxygen. Okay, now this is a little bit different from what we've seen before because I've got two products, and they're not actually asking for the theoretical yield. Again, usually they would say, so in theory, how much, and usually it's in grams, of the carbon dioxide, for example, or how many liters of this, usually it would be a gas STP, how many liters of it would you be making? But in this case, they're not asking us for that. If they were asking us, we would need to go to grams, okay? But in this case, we can really just stop at moles. So I'm going to pick either one. You can either use the CO2 or the H2O. You will get the same final answer. It doesn't matter which one we're going to use right now because, again, they're not asking us for the theoretical yield. So I'm going to go with the CO2. So I've got moles of CO2, and I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Just make sure that you pick the same one. I'm going to tell you something in just a second here, too, that might speed you up a little bit. And so we're all about like making these problems go a little bit faster. So I look at my ratios. Remember, this is how you switch between substances. And I've got 12 moles of CO2 for 2 moles of C6H10. So I'm looking at my coefficients. And same thing here, I've got 12 of the CO2, but now I've got 17 of the oxygen. Now, because this is constant, I really could even leave it out, okay? Again, this is not really a true limiting reagent. It could be, and usually they do ask both. They'll ask for the theoretical yield, but they're not. So I'm just going to stop it right here and just shorten this problem a little bit for myself. Okay, so I'm getting 2.56 moles of the CO2 here, and for the CO2 here, I'm getting 0.993 moles of the oxygen, of the CO2 from, so of the CO2. Okay, so all of my units have canceled out, and I'm simply left with moles of CO2 in this situation. Okay, so it's very easy to figure out which one is my limiting reagent. Remember, these are not called limiting reagents here, the 2.56 and the 0.993. These are not your limiting reagents. One of them is your theoretical yield. The other one is not called anything, okay? So the 2.56 moles is the bigger amount. You do not really make that. That is nothing to you, okay? So this 2.56 moles of CO2, it doesn't even have a name, okay? This technically would be called, if I needed to, this technically could be called my theoretical yields, all right? So that could technically be called the theoretical yield. But again, usually they would ask you for grams or liters. They don't usually ask you for moles, okay? That means that whatever gave me my theoretical yield, this must be my limiting reagent, which means this must be my excess reagent. And people will ask, what am I pointing to? I'm pointing to the entire thing because it's the 35 grams of C6H10. So maybe if I started off with less of the C6H10, maybe that would have been my limiting reagent, okay? But that is my excess reagent. I did want you to notice again that I did have less grams of it, but because of my ratios, that is my excess reagent, okay? All right, so now we're on to part 2. What we need to do now is, I know this is my excess reagent, but that's not how much is in excess, because that's like saying that 5 pieces of cheese are in excess. Well, that's not true. It's not 5 pieces of cheese in excess, okay? That's how much I started with, but that's not how much is in excess. So what I need to do is, I need to figure out how many pieces of cheese I actually used to make the sandwiches, and then do a subtraction, okay? Are a couple of different ways that I can do this, okay? So one way is I can take a look to see, I know that I theoretically supposed to be making 0.993 moles of the CO2, okay? So I know that, and I also know that my 45 grams of oxygen, since that's my limiting reagent, that gets completely used up. So I could use that as well, okay? So I could use either one of these. If you had switched to water, then you could use that. If you had switched to grams of CO2 or water, whichever one, I cannot use this. So the moles of the 2.56, that number is nothing to you, okay? That number, it's not even extra. It's just, it doesn't mean anything, okay? So what I'm trying to figure out is how much of the 35 grams of C6H10 got used, okay? So how much of it actually reacted. And then once I know how much of it reacted, I can simply subtract from the 35, okay? So hopefully this makes sense, and you can rewind this if you need to and do a playback and slow me down if you need that. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the oxygen. So again, I could use the 0.993 moles of CO2 as well. So what I'm gonna do is to find out how much of the C6H10 reacted, so that's what I'm looking for, and I'm specifically looking for grams of C6H10 that reacted. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to start with the 45.0 grams of the oxygen, and I'm going to do the same thing that I had done before. So I know that it's 32.00 grams per mole. That's pretty easy. So people will say, well, can't I shorten it? It's easy. If you want to start at moles of oxygen, fine. But that's pretty easy to do anyway, and this is my O2. Again, I always like to write all of my units in. So now I'm in moles of O2, and I'm trying to figure out grams of C6H10. So I know that I need to do a bridge and compare them. So it looks like 2 C6H10s for my balanced equation to 17 moles of oxygen. Don't stop there because I need the grams of C6H10. Okay, so now I know I've got moles of C6H10, and I'm going to try to get to grams, and I already calculated, I didn't calculate the grams of C6H10. I did at the beginning. Here it is, sorry, 82.16. So then I've got 82.16 grams of the C6H10 per mole, and now I can do my calculation. So if I multiply and divide, I end up getting 13.59 grams of the C6H10 that reacted. Okay, we're almost there. Because what we just figured out was, if we kind of go back to our cheese sandwich here, we just figured out how many pieces of cheese we actually used. So, but it's backtracking. It's saying, if I make 6 sandwiches, then 3, how many pieces of cheese? Well, I know that it's a 2-to-1 ratio, so if I use 6, then I must have used 3 of the cheese, okay? So that's basically what we just did. Now we need to do the subtraction, and the subtraction is simply how much cheese did I start with minus how much cheese reacted or did I actually use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply subtract my 35.0 grams of the C6H10 minus, and this is what I started with, so this is my starting amount, minus the 13.59 grams of C6H10. Make sure you always are subtracting the same thing. You cannot subtract grams of C6H10 and grams of oxygen, for example. That's like, subtracting inches and feet. You can't do that, okay? And this is how much reacted, and then that's going to tell me how much is left. Well, the amount that's left ends up being 21.4. And by the way, for sig figs, remember it's not your number of significant figures when you're subtracting. It's because this is in the tens place and this is in the hundreds. I can only be as good as the tens place. And so that's my grams of C6H10. Box this number in. And this is the amount that is remaining, or quote unquote, in excess. Okay, hopefully that helped you out, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy day to all of you. Thank you for being here.